The story begins in the near future. The main character, Ryland Grace, wakes up aboard the interstellar spacecraft Hail Mary. He is suffering from severe amnesia and at first cannot even remember his own name. Grace soon discovers that the two other crew members have died during the journey, leaving him the sole survivor in the Tau Ceti system, located about 12 light-years from Earth. Gradually, his memory returns. In the past, he was a molecular biologist who left his scientific career to become a school science teacher. However, it was his earlier theoretical paper on extraterrestrial life that drew the attention of the leaders of Project Hail Mary. It is revealed that the solar system is facing a global catastrophe. The Sun has been infected by Astrophage, a single-celled life form that consumes stellar energy. This organism migrates between the Sun and Venus along a path known as the Petrova Line, using infrared radiation for movement. The activity of Astrophage is causing the Sun to gradually dim. According to calculations, humanity has only 26 years before a new ice age begins, which would kill half the planet's population and lead to the collapse of civilization. Grace's mission is to find out why the star Tau Ceti remains unaffected by the infection, despite the presence of Astrophage in that region of the galaxy, and to send the data back to Earth. Upon arrival, Grace realizes he is not alone. Orbiting Tau Ceti is an alien spacecraft, which he names Blippe. It originates from the 40 Eridani system. Grace makes contact with the only surviving member of the alien crew, being resembling a giant five-legged spider with a rocky shell. He names it Rocky. Communication between the two species becomes a complex engineering and linguistic challenge. The Iridians lack vision and perceive the world through echolocation, so their speech sounds like complex musical chords. Grace develops a translation program that converts Rocky's sounds into English and back. It turns out that Rocky's home star is also infected with Astrophage, and his civilization faces extinction as well. The two scientists join forces. Despite vast biological differences, Iridians breathe a superheated ammonia-based atmosphere and live under much stronger gravity. They manage to understand each other through science. Rocky possesses extraordinary engineering skills and memory, and can create structures from xenonite, a material stronger than anything on Earth. The story is interwoven with flashbacks revealing the preparation of the mission. Grace recalls working with Ava Strat, the project administrator granted unlimited authority by the UN. Strat made harsh and sometimes morally questionable decisions to save humanity, from forcibly recruiting scientists to using nuclear weapons to accelerate Antarctic ice melting and temporarily increase the greenhouse effect. Grace and Rocky conduct a series of dangerous experiments. They discover a planet Grace names Adrian. In its atmosphere lives a natural predator of Astrophage, a microorganism called Tamoba. These organisms keep the Astrophage population in check, preventing the star from dimming. During a sample collection mission on Adrian, the Hail Mary is damaged. In a dramatic incident, Rocky saves Grace but suffers severe burns from Earth-like conditions, while Grace nearly dies from the toxic Iridian environment while rescuing his friend. This moment solidifies their friendship. Closer to the climax, Grace recalls perhaps his most painful memory. He was not a volunteer. Originally, other scientists, a Dr. Du Bois and Dr. Shapiro, were supposed to go on the mission, as they had a genetic resistance to long-term induced coma. However, they died in an explosion during preparation. Grace, who also had the required genetic marker, refused to take their place out of fear. Ava Strat, under threat of arrest, forced him into a coma and sent him on the mission against his will. Realizing this causes a deep internal conflict. He must reconcile his past cowardice with his present responsibility for the fate of two civilizations. The scientists succeed in developing a nitrogen-resistant strain of Tamoba so it can survive in the atmospheres of Venus and planets in the 40 Eridani system. Rocky repairs the Hail Mary and gives Grace part of his Astrophage fuel supply, since the human ship lacks resources for a return journey. The two friends part ways, heading toward their home worlds. However, shortly after departure, Grace makes a terrifying discovery. The Tamoba, after prolonged exposure to storage containers, have evolved the ability to penetrate xenonite. This is not critical for the Hail Mary, but Rocky's ship's fuel tanks are made of xenonite. This means the Tamoba will consume his fuel, leaving him stranded in space and dooming his civilization. Grace makes a crucial decision. He sends probes with data and Tamoba samples back to Earth as planned, but turns his ship around to save his friend. He finds Rocky's drifting ship and boards it. As human food supplies run out, Rocky suggests Grace consume Tamoba biomass, which, while unappetizing, contains the necessary nutrients. Years later, Grace lives on the planet Arid. The gravity is harsh for a human, but he has adapted. The probe successfully reached Earth. Iridian astronomers confirm that the Sun has regained its brightness, and humanity is saved. Ryland Grace, older but at peace, returns to what he once loved, teaching science. But now, his students are young Iridians. Follow Nerd Fact Zone for more amazing facts.